Okay, this is all systems down. All systems down. Okay, I'm going to explain the importance of Cisco network engineering. There was a hospital in Boston. I forget what year it was. You can Google this. But there was a hospital in Boston that their networking equipment ran off of Cisco. So what happened was all of the internet or the equipment in the hospital came to a crash, and the reason that it crashed was due to a problem in networking that we call a bridging loop. Now remember, all the devices in the hospital ran off of Cisco. A bridging loop is that's another conversation, but that's another video. But how can I explain? Okay, Cisco engineering. When you get into network engineering, you learn that to solve a bridging loop, you solve it with something that we call STP, or spanning tree protocol. There's various versions of spanning tree protocol, but you have to know Cisco network engineering or network engineering in general to solve a bridging loop. Now, when this hospital crashed, right? When the hospital's network crashed, people were in jeopardy of losing their lives because doctors had to access records that were on their tablets or whatever devices that they used. Doctors had to access important medical records in order to properly treat the patients. But if the doctors couldn't access those documents, then lives are at stake. So the story goes that this hospital had approximately 250 IT members on staff, and 250 IT members on that hospital staff couldn't get the network back up. So what the hospital had to do was they had to call in some of their top engineers. They had to call in their top engineers to come in and to fix the network. From San Jose, California. That's where Cisco headquarters is. In San Jose, California. So they flew in their top engineers, and they got to the hospital on time, and they revived the network. First, they had to do a diagnostics on the hospital network, and after they did a diagnostic on the network, they were able to bring the network back up in time for the doctors to access the medical records so they can save the patients. Now, that's the importance of network engineering. That's the importance of Cisco, and that's the reason I do what I do. This is Cisco Engineer William signing off.